was started very good. Out of the 124, 23 had dedicated source of funds from the World Bank through the Secondary Education Improvement Project. All of them have been completed. The rest of them, budgetary allocations was supposed to be year by year, so that when there's some money, you can do something. Consequently, some of them have not been done. And I know that so far the President is concerned, has directed us that within our budgetary constraint, we should complete as many as possible. And you have heard that we're going to operationalize some of them. There's stakeholder consultation going on now for the introduction of gifted and talented education in Ghana. Gifted individuals are the ones with those high IQs, high achieving. Talented are the ones who have certain skill, natural born traits. They can sing, they can dance, they can draw, do so many things. In other countries, they focus on them and make sure they have their special classrooms or special schools. So as you take care of children with learning challenges, you also have to take care of children who are high achieving. And in most places, they put them together with children who have learning challenges because they think that if you do not take a good care of a student who is gifted, they may go wayward. Because they sit in the classroom, and to them, the Ghanaian classroom is the most boring place. That child is sitting there, he has different ways of solving the problem. And he can't sit still because he can't wait. His hand is up, and her hand is up. And the teacher says, sir, can we do it differently? No, this is what I'm teaching you. Those children are miserable. They have a new way. But our system does not support the new way. In research, it is identified that 10% of every population is gifted or talented. 10%. So some countries have capitalized on that. Hong Kong, United States, South Korea, and say, hey, if this 10% have natural born traits and research is showing that they are talented or gifted, why don't we give them special attention so that they will be the ones that will innovate and develop our nation? And those countries that have done that have seen innovation going through the roof. These are talented, gifted individuals just sitting there and saying, can you help me? Can you allow my talent to come out so that I can help this nation? And because you are not doing this in the classroom, I'm stepping out, I'm going to do my solar-powered bike just for my head. So imagine if somebody was guiding him. That student will have developed something even more advanced than the solar-powered bike. That is where education should be, and stakeholder consultations are ongoing, consulting many people with great ideas in that space to ensure that we can come to a point that we have gate schools and we have gate programs in our schools, and children are being supported to bring about innovation, and that innovation will not be bottled up in them by sheer virtue of the fact that we don't know who they are and how they learn. So I'm super excited about that. And I can't wait to see Ghanaian students getting the opportunity at junior high school level, engineering. Our way, helping us engineer our way out of challenges, because the environment that we create for them will lend itself to that. So it brings great excitement to me that within existing resources, we can truly do more, as they say, with less. So some of the career pathways that these gifted and talented students will be given the opportunity to pursue together, and the ones that will be done in our STEM schools include environmental science, aeronautics and aerospace engineering, computer science, manufacturing, agri science, global studies, and creative arts. Creative arts is so exciting. The school is currently under construction in Kumasi at Kwadaso, going to bring children with creative talents from across the country. You have to audition to get into the school. That school will be open in 2023. And when it happens, you're going to see Ghana's creative arts industry being given a boost, a great boost, because the young ones that are talented will find their space there, and industry individuals will get the opportunity to motivate them there and to guide them. We are creating our own Hollywood. And we believe that just as it is done around the world where talented individuals are nurtured to really bring out their talent, gifted and talented education, whether it's through the global creative arts, engineering, agric science, or environmental science, will give us an opportunity to nurture the great minds of our future. The Einsteins of Africa will be nurtured through these institutions. And in order for this to happen, we have to be meticulous in our approach. We need to make sure that we are creating an affiliation program for new schools. We need to affiliate high schools for the creative arts, for example, with other creative arts high schools around the world, so that they can exchange the ideas through the power of the internet, video conferencing, getting them to be able to interact with certain top actors across the world. We also have to begin to look at, in terms of science, for example, how we affiliate new schools with existing high-performing schools. I don't understand why Presec does so well, but when we open a school at Jati, my hometown, we don't affiliate it with Presec. Why don't we bring an assistant headmaster of Presec to be the headmaster of Abomusu, the new school that we're opening, so that the DNA of Presec will be seated there? Why can't we give an offer that people can refuse and bring them as head of department from their schools to become assistant headmasters in new schools, bring the best practices from Opoku to Owarimai? We have the talent, but we are not managing it. And these are some of the things that I believe needs to be done in the Ghanaian education space. That we can use the resources that we have here and use it well to transform our education system and allow the education system to then transform our socioeconomic structures. That is the kind of nation we need to have. The education plays a critical role in socioeconomic transformation. It's documented around the world, and Ghana has to be one of those countries. You can't talk about transforming your fortunes if your gross tertiary enrollment ratio is so low. Countries where we've seen progress and transformation, they've improved their gross tertiary enrollment ratio. I want to make it as easy as possible for all of us to understand that if this room happens to be a town, and we count the number of people are here and there are 100. If we also ask this information town, how many of the people in this room are in some kind of tertiary education? How many of the people in this room are between the ages of 18 to 22? If the response is 10 people here are between ages of 18 to 22, and then we ask how many are in tertiary, then you begin to look at the calculation. And a place like this where there are so many creative talents will be through the roof. But if you go to other towns and you ask the same question and say, as a chief, how many of your people are between the ages of 18 to 22? If they say 100, and you ask how many people in the town generally and tertiary, and they say 10, that town has 10% gross tertiary enrollment ratio. Countries that have transformed their fortunes, you have to be 40% plus. Then you see the transformation. Because you have the critical mass with the critical minds to bring about transformation, especially if your education system is also focusing on critical thinking. I just got the good news that gross tertiary enrollment ratio has moved from 18% to 20%. So it's good. We can then deliver on the president's promise that by 2030, our gross tertiary enrollment ratio should be 40. But going forward, it means Director General of GTech, you've got to do your calculation and make sure we are moving up. If Ghana hits 40% gross tertiary enrollment ratio, you're going to see transformation of the country. The foundation will have been solid for the country to take off. But we know we cannot do all these things if we don't look at our tertiary education space, if we don't look at how to provide logistics for our institutions, if we don't look at how to provide transportation, teaching and learning materials for our schools, how to train the human capital, how to train the staff so that they can deliver. That takes me to National Education Institute. We also have consulting with IEP and other institutions so that this nation will have a National Education Institute where we train our people in education from the headquarters of Ghana Education Service, headquarters of Ghana TV Service, Ministry of Education, all the talent that is there. We need to train them so that they can champion the education transformation agenda. It's difficult for me, easy for me to stand here and say we are transforming, but the very people who are working with you, if they don't understand what the transformation is about, if they don't understand what is gifted and talented education, if they don't understand what is STEM, how do they then lead in the transformation agenda? National Education Institute will offer that opportunity for our leadership to be trained and to be at the cutting edge of education innovation. So then we lead and produce the outcomes that is expected of us. New universities are going to be developed. In this current budget, we have 5 STEM universities approved, medium term for construction. It's exciting that we're going to get 5 new universities built, especially in those regions without universities. We also have recently signed an agreement to do the Bunso University agreement, and the South Koreans are in town. That campus is going to be built. So is the Hohoi campus, which is part of UHAS. Then under this budget, we're also looking at 12 state-of-the-art technical and vocational training institutes funded for construction to begin. Also the modernization of NAFTI, a great institution that have not had equipment and facilities to really produce the outcomes that we want in the country. The president says NAFTI should be transformed. We also this year are going to build 10 out of 35 STEM high schools. 35 STEM high schools are approved under this budget for construction. It's like building PRESEC 35 times, replicating PRESEC 35 times across the length and breadth of this nation. 10 of them are going to be done this year. We are going to retool science laboratories in our senior high schools and upgrading vocational training center under an Austrian grant. One of the things that I'm excited about is the construction of 21st century junior high schools in selected urban communities. $100 million allocated for that purpose. Also, the establishment of STEM-based senior high schools, 5 of them supported by the Badia in Ophir, Saudi Arabia. All those countries have come together and they are building 5 STEM schools just like the one that we are building in Accra. They are also going to support ICT-based distance learning projects. We are on track to operationalizing the Open University Ghana. AIMS, African Institute of Mathematics, funding provided for the construction of their campus. We have also awarded contract for the building of a girls' STEM school at Pong Katamanso. It will be on the same land as the AIMS, African Institute of Mathematical Sciences. I'm excited about the fact that we have another girls' STEM school being opened together. We're going to have schools that focus on STEM, dedicated to the education of our girls. And it's for no reason, it's not for no reason that we're doing it. If you look at engineering, currently only 15% of our engineering students are women. And we don't think that should be allowed to continue. If you look at the laurels that was brought home by mathematics girls, how they conquered the world, it tells you that if you give opportunity to women, they will excel. So the government is doing everything possible to ensure that this happens. I wanted to make my staff happy. I've been following the scripts. So let's look at some of the beautiful pictures. Pictures tell a story.